Good blessed Tuesday night, December the 3rd, 2024, the time being about 6:55 a.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest or the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say or do. That's your prerogative. You have a First Amendment to the United States Constitution of freedom of press, freedom to protest, freedom to speech, freedom to gather, and freedom to associate. If you are a felon, you probably want to check with your local law enforcement agencies and see if it's legal for felons in their area to associate or do any of the above mentioned. If you're on probation or parole, you want to check with your probation or parole officer and do the same. What I want to talk about tonight, I look at a lot of people, I ain't going to say a lot of people, a lot of guys and females out here saying that they gangsters, killers, and they get locked up. Instead of exercising their Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, they chose the First Amendment right, freedom of speech, freedom to tell on everybody else to keep themselves from getting locked up. I sat down with individuals that people say gangsters, but these individuals, they was real men. Whether they was locked up or not, they was real men. I'm going to start with two of them that's rappers from Atlanta. They was on the trial with the RICO case. Kendricks in Stillwell. Today, you remember the song, it was the 3rd of September, it was the 3rd of December, a day that I always will remember. That was the day them two brothers got found not guilty of those RICO charges that the Georgia law enforcement officials and prosecuting attorneys, 80-90% of them black, trying to send these brothers down for life because they rapping about what they want to rap about. But I give it to them two brothers. When Young Thug and some of the other ones pled guilty and got charges, certain charges dropped and left out, these two last brothers, the first out of all of them, out of the 28, that didn't turn state's evidence, stood their ground and had some powerful attorneys. I want y'all to watch this verdict today. This verdict ought to tell some of you guys out here that call yourself killers out here, killing in the black community, selling drugs in the black community, terrorizing your black community. I'm talking about blacks is doing it. But yeah, when you get locked up, you remind me of the one mafia figure they called Joe Fallaci. Joe Fallaci was a killer out on the streets, a hitman. But when he got caught up, he told on everybody. All you got to do is take a look around. All these guys that had these RICO cases and they ain't doing life in prison and then go to trial, that ought to tell you something. But I want you to watch this here. I watched this trial for a long time. It was another trial that I watched. The Pontiac 17. Back in July the 22nd, 1978. In the Pontiac Correctional Center, it was a major riot down there. I was 20 years old in the Thunderdome. 2 guards was injured. 3 end up deceased. The place was burning. It was burning for a reason And I don't condone any deaths, but the place was so racist. It reminded me of Charles, Missouri, Mississippi County. You see what I'm saying? With the racism. But it's racism all here in the United States. It's been here since 1619. Or we can go back to 1492 when Christopher Columbus came up. But they honor murderers like that, rapists. But these 17 brothers stood together. They was up under the 6 and the 5. They stood together. They was chiefs. They was bosses. They stood together. In 1981, all of them was cleared. 6 cases was dropped. 10 got an acquittal from a jury trial, like these 2 got acquitted from the jury today. The only thing that Stillwell got, and it wasn't even related to these murders that they had on him in the RICO charges, he got possession of a weapon as a felon. But you got to look at the history. Stillwell was shot at, him and his wife and kids. He was shot up, and the gun that they found with him, it was his wife, it was his girlfriend or his wife gun, and it was registered. But what felon wouldn't have a gun on him when the law won't stop these coward Negroes from shooting at another brother? But that's what they convicted him of. Not for killing somebody like the prosecuting attorney said. Not for racketeering. The man bared an arm because of the fact that individuals out there trying to kill him. I'm a true believer. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Power to the people, Stillwell. Power to the people, y'all. Power to those that stand up against injustice, no matter what color you is. But I'm going to leave y'all with this here. Some of y'all ain't going to like what I'm saying, but see, they accused them 17 brothers back in 1978 only because they was high-ranking individuals in organizations. You see, they was already sentenced during their time, but yet it was okay for them guards, prison guards, to pee and urinate in our orange juices, spit in our food. You see, I'm not just talking because the Tribune came and investigated, and they seen, some of them came to act like they was working there, and they seen what these racist guards was doing. You see, one thing about the Bible says you reap what you sow. Darren Kane, the prosecuting attorney here, allowed people to assault me physically, come in my house and threaten me, and yet they made a joke out of it. But Darren Kane is out there in one of these cemeteries here in Charles, Missouri, Mississippi County, because God allowed him to get COVID that took his life. One of the judges that refused to do his job when people attacking me, he was at his log cabin in Tennessee somewhere and had a massive heart attack. Hopefully that woke him up. Some of y'all may think this cruel. It's not cruel. What's cruel is in 1619, when they brought us over here in them slave ships, had us packed up like sardines. And if you're not a part of it, don't let it bother you, because it was mostly white attorneys representing them brothers. It was mostly white attorneys, just about all white attorneys, that represented me, helping me get my children's back down here in Charles, Missouri. And it was blacks and whites trying to attack me, but yet I still stand. I'm sitting down because I'm a little injured right now. But I'm going to leave y'all with this here. Them brothers stood they ground, and they beat that case out from them lying police coming on the stand, them lying witnesses like these killers that be attacking me. They catch cases and then they get to telling on people. They ain't no killers. They ain't no killers. They individuals that puff up and make you think that they killers. They ain't killers. If they was killers, they would have came on my yard and the peace would have been still. Williams Funeral Home or McMichaels would have been dressing them, and somebody else would have been preaching over their funerals saying that they were saints, telling a lie and the truth ain't in them. But I'm going to leave. You don't like what I'm saying? Don't watch. Peace out.
All right, good morning. Sure. All right, good morning, everybody. We have a verdict. We have two verdicts. And I do not want there to be any kind of disruption or disturbance in court, regardless of what this verdict is. So, can we get the jury out, please?
All rise for the jury. Pause, your president accounted for.
All right, thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that you all have reached a verdict. Mr. Foreperson, is that correct? All right, and was it unanimous? Yes. All right, and this verdict has been filled in and signed and dated by you, correct? Or for each defendant? All right, and I noticed that Mr. Kendrick's verdict form is dated December 2nd. Is that because that's when you all reached the verdict with regard to him? Okay. And then Mr. Stillwell's is dated today. Okay. All right, Mr. Kendrick, you have been found not guilty on all charges. Mr. Stillwell, can you please stand? You have been found guilty on count 64, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and not guilty on every other charge. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are officially released from further service, and I cannot express the degree of thanks that Fulton County owes you for your service. Given the length of this trial, you have paid close attention this entire time, and I appreciate your devotion, as I'm sure do the parties in this case. You are welcome to stay for the sentencing, or you can return to the jury room. I would like to speak with you in just a moment in the jury room. If you all do want to stay, you're welcome to stay. Is there any objection to the form or the legality of this verdict? No, any from the defense? No. All right. All right. Is there any reason that we can't go ahead and sentence? You may. All right, so are we going to go ahead with sentencing? Is the state, I know the state had filed a recidivist notice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do y'all intend to stand on that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So the recidivist is A and C recidivist. That means that I have no discretion but to sentence to the maximum on that count And the sentence possibility is 5 to 10. I must sentence to 10 years. However, I can probate any part of that sentence at my discretion. And so the court sentence on count 64 for Mr. Stillwell is going to be 10 years to serve 2, with credit for time served, the balance served on probation. All right, I am going to recess.
I thank God for allowing them brothers to beat them cases out. This might wake up some of you brothers that call yourself killers, some of you sisters that call yourself killers, especially some of y'all that try to attack me. You see what I got on? At a time of peace, I'm always prepared for war. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a violent person, but one thing about me, even at this old age, I'm not one gonna let you do this anymore. Y'all hear me? You can't do this to me anymore. You can say what you want to say because you got a First Amendment right. But when you come past that sign that say no trespassing, I'm going to leave it with this here. Peace out.
Oh, look how dark it just got.
Oh my God, look at it.
Oh my gosh. Let me put my glasses on. I can't even see.
Take a picture.
Oh my gosh. Look, look. It really big. Look.
Like,
I'm not going blind. My fucking phone ain't blowing.
Mississippi County Sheriff. No, that's the Charleston Police Department. I'm hoping, let's see what's going on. Which way are they going here? Going over the bridge. So it must be something happening on the I-57 northbound. They didn't go over the viaduct, which is boomland. Let me ride my bike down and check it out. It's my type of work, y'all. Saving lives.